And do you use any AI today?
We do in some parts of the business. I think it's fair to say that we're still at the early part of exploring, again, AI is a broad place. So we've been using machine learning for many years. So we have one of the largest repositories of historical maps, and we've been doing feature extraction and feature recognition within them for more than 15 years, where we would pick out historical land use. So when it was an orchard, when it was a field, when it was a reservoir. And we've digitized that using sort of fairly well-known computer vision techniques to try and understand that. Imagine a scenario in which you were heading off on a mission to Mars. With today's technology, you could be there in 50 years. Or the next level of Barnard Star, 50 years. You know, so you get your rocket together, you get people together, you jump. 5 years later, new technologies have developed that means you can get there in 2 years. So your first group is on its 50-year journey to Barnard Star, and meanwhile the next group is flying past them. They're there 5 years later, and they arrive there 40 years earlier. And that's kind of the challenge with any new technology, which is it's true, it's moving so quickly. But then the argument of I'll just wait and see is also a really poor one, because you want to be ready to move on the next generational shift first. I think someone said before, you've got this idea of innovation. You can either have grand changes which require $100 million investment and require board approval, and then you've got this kind of the incremental stuff, which I think Siemens used to call was like just what you've got to do every day. Can I make my process a bit better? Can I improve something a bit every day? And in the middle is this kind of idea you want to get obviously focus on really good functional right-sized innovation, which is it's not about the farm stuff, but it's well scoped. It probably has a bit of resource around it, maybe 50 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand. But has a specific goal, a measurable outcome,
a very clear exam question,
and you learn from that process. And I think that's the area we need to get people focusing on, is not transforming their whole organization today with technology, but spending enough money to understand where those transformations will come from. And I think that's an area where the combination of sort of the right expertise around AI, the right data, because fundamentally is where we come into it, is that these models only work effectively if you've got the right provenance behind them. If you don't know, if you're starting from poor source data, you can't make the right interpretations. I think it would start with understand what data you have available, both from the marketplace and as external data that you need, and from your own internal systems. Before you start thinking about the tool, think about the problem. What are you trying to accomplish? Because AI might be the solution or part of the solution, but it might be the end state rather than the starting point of that. I think jumping straight to the end of the last chapter in the book is the problem. People hear AI will save my business, and it's not that simple, never is. But if you go through it logically, if you engage with it, absolutely there is huge savings and huge revenue up to be achieved, but be realistic. I think
and have a clear exam question.
Have a clear exam question.
And a clear expectation of benefits.
And don't fall for the hype. I mean, the one thing I would say is it's very easy for people to walk in and promise the earth. And particularly when you're in the middle of a hype cycle like we are at the moment, this stuff, someone says, just spend £10 million with us and we will solve your business. And I would say anyone who's coming in with a big bang proposition like that, whether they are Accenture, whether they are KPMG, whether they are Deloitte or Artefact or Landmark, that's not the way to win this game.